Hey, what's the story? Apple have just announced the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Pro. Now, for those of us who are into video and photography, there is one huge, substantial change, especially around video, for the iPhone 15 Pro that was never possible on any iPhone ever before. And I think it's a big deal. I'm not going to spend any time looking at the main specs like how the iPhone 15 Pro has got this brand new A17 Pro chip and all of those other things. That's fine. What we want to take a look at here first off is the camera. So those of you who are familiar with iPhone will know that you get a couple of different camera lenses. You get 3 lenses on the Pro. So you have the ultra wide, you have the kind of the main lens, and then you have a telephoto lens. On the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it's doing something that is unbelievable. And that is, they've got a 120mm optical zoom lens in the camera. Now, that's a pretty big deal using the technologies that they're using, the way they lay out the lenses in the camera. They've got this insane lens, which is going to give you huge compression for photos and obviously video. So that's a real big deal. But speaking of video, and this, besides the extra thing where they're giving you more resolution with HEF files on the camera on the photo side of it, the video side of the iPhone 15 Pro, it's crazy. First off, some of the improvements that Apple are touting are these low light capabilities after getting a little bit better. And with that also comes the action mode, which is after getting a big improvement as well. Now, action mode on the iPhone 14 Pro is absolutely crazy. It's this real gimbal-like stabilization, which it does it all through the gyro data and everything, and it works really, really well. So even improving that, I don't know how they did it, but that's not just the big improvement that I'm really, really excited about when it comes to the new iPhone 15 Pro. Nope. And if you're a serious filmmaker, if you're serious about making banger videos, this could be the absolute clincher for you. Not talking about HDR, not talking about night modes or any low light stuff. No, I am talking about a port. See this port here? This is a lightning port. That is gone from the iPhone 15 line completely. But what makes a huge difference is they've replaced it with USB-C, which I think everybody has like 10 million USB-C cables at this stage. However, on the iPhone 15 Pro, the USB-C ain't just the standard USB-C that's in the rest of the iPhone 15 line. Because this isn't any old USB-C. This is USB-C that's going to operate at a speed of 10 gigabits per second. Probably the best way I could kind of explain it, if you're like, what the hell is a gigabit? What wait? Is like this. Let's say you've got a little toy truck. Let's say you've got a small shovel and you're filling the toy truck up with sand. It takes a little bit of time. Now imagine if you had a far bigger shovel, how fast you could fill up the toy truck. The shovel is USB 3. USB 3, 10 gigabits per second. That is the shovel now. So you're going to finish filling that toy truck a lot quicker. That's the craziest analogy I could ever come up with. But basically, stuff will transfer super, super fast. Now, I don't know about your workflow. I try to do as much things wirelessly as I can, but always plugging in an iPhone to a computer was a slow, laborious process. But now with the 15 Pro, it's going to be really, really quick. But that's not just the big thing about this USB-C port for filmmakers. No, that's like this much of a deal. What I've got next is the big deal. And that is, Apple will now allow you to plug in an external hard drive to record video directly to. Yes, I mean, this is a really, really, really big deal. So you don't have to worry about your phone overheating because you're recording a ton of data. You don't have to worry about, running out of space in your phone, because now you can record via that USB-C port and a very fast hard drive like the Samsung. You can record directly onto that. Now, there's no list of compatible drives. I'm guessing it will just work. Now, for those of you who have, we'll say, operated recording on other drives with like something like Blackmagic cameras, the cameras can be a little bit finicky with depending on the drive that you plug in. But regardless, this is a huge, huge, huge deal that you can record onto an external hard drive from your iPhone, which really brings it up in terms of kind of filmmaking. But that's not just all with this external hard drive recording, because in the words of a great amazing genius, there's one more thing. And that is if you're recording onto an external hard drive, you can record in ProRes RAW at 4K 60. So if you want that buttery smooth cinematic slow motion, you can do it with that 4K 60. Right now you can do up to 4K 30 on the iPhone in ProRes. But the one thing is, even I've got a 256 gig iPhone. I never shoot in ProRes simply because the file sizes are so ginormous. And the phone is like going, yeah, you ain't got enough. Yeah, we can't record. Now though, all you gotta do is just plug in an external hard drive and away you go. Which is absolutely crazy. And that's even before you get to this thing called ACES. ACES stands for Academy Color Encoding System, and it's a global standard for color management. It's a really big deal if you're into color grading, especially on the pro line of things. It's a really big deal. The likes of the Sony Venice camera, for example, would adhere to the ACES standard. That's not the right way to put it, but you get what I mean. And with this log encoding that's on the iPhone 15 Pro, this is like, it's not just the first iPhone, but it's the first smartphone in history to ever have this capability. I think overall I was a bit underwhelmed by the whole iPhone 15 launch. The Pro certainly had got kind of couple of little things in the sidelines, as it were. Might be a big deal for some folks. That 120mm equivalent lens, crazy good if you want that compressed look. Street photographers will, everybody, wildlife sport, that could be a really, really big deal. But for me, the capability of being able just to add in an external hard drive, giving you that reassurance. Now, let's be real about this. That's probably not going to be for everybody. It's not going to be for every single shoot. However, the fact that it's just there, and no doubt the likes of Ulanzi and SmallRig and Falcom and all these other amazing manufacturers probably right now have an iPhone 15 Pro cage in the works where you can just put in the phone, you can put in like the drive, so it's all mounted in one secure little rig. All that's coming, but this really kind of showcases that Apple are finally kind of looking at the Pro side of the iPhone Pro line, which it's not going to be for everybody, and the price absolutely dictates that. However, this is a really, really big deal for filmmakers. Now, let me know what you think in the comments below. iPhone 15 Pro Max, 120mm optical zoom, and then plug in an external hard drive. Does it get much better than that? Or are you just better off going, I'm just going to buy a Sony ZV-E1?